Most fighters leave the ring on a stretcher, or they leave broken, slurring their words, chasing one last paycheck that never comes. But Terence "Bud" Crawford just pulled off the greatest heist in the history of combat sports. He didn't just beat 42 opponents, he beat the game itself. The news dropped out of nowhere. An undefeated 5-division world champion walking away at the absolute peak of his powers. No decline, no embarrassing.
I want to thank Bomac. I want to thank Red, Saul, Chet, Bernard, Dr. Conroy, Steven, Paulina, Shakur, Denise. I want to thank Julie. I want to thank Jessica, Ish. Most importantly, my brother. I want to thank Harrison, my brother. I want to thank everybody that had a part in making this a success. Mama, Grandma, we made it. We made it. You know, it's been a journey, you know? It's been a journey. I remember like it was yesterday, I went to quit boxing. You know, it was getting to the point where I didn't enjoy it no more. I didn't love it no more. And Bomac, you know, he always, hey, don't worry about it, man. Just keep going. It's going to all pay off one day. And I'm like, man, fuck boxing. But them having the faith in me and keeping me on the narrow arrow, you know, is
lost to a younger lion. Just a clean break. While the internet is exploding with debates about where he ranks on the all-time great list, one reaction stood out above the noise. It wasn't a promoter trying to spin a narrative or a rival talking trash. It was a message from Andre Ward, the last American great to leave the sport with his zero intact. Ward didn't just congratulate him on the belts, he validated the escape. He knows exactly what it takes to walk away when the world is screaming for you to stay. And his message to Crawford reveals a darker truth about boxing that fans...
I'm not surprised that Crawford's retiring at all. You know, he's talked about it before in the past, and certainly there's no better way to go, right, than to walk away from the sport, a sport that retires too many people on sports terms, and to go out after beating Canelo Alvarez in the biggest fight in a long time in a stadium is storybook stuff. So I'm not surprised he's retiring. I am surprised by the timing of it. I didn't expect this to come today. You know, I thought there was a great chance he was going to fight again next year. And maybe he still will. Who knows, right? You never know with boxing retirements. So surprised in one sense and not surprised in another sense.
Rarely think about. This wasn't just a retirement. It was a survival story. Andre Ward's reaction to the news was immediate and incredibly specific.
I wouldn't be mad if I never see Terence fight again. The way he performed, getting ready to be 38, I think, in a few days. Man, what better way to go out? What better way to tell the game goodbye? What better way? Who you gonna fight? I was arguing with Max on the way to the venue about Boots Ennis. Nah, we don't go fight Canelo and then go back and fight Boots Ennis. I saw a report today. Somebody was talking about him going up to light heavyweight. Nah, we don't go up to light heavyweight. We just went up 3 weight classes since the Spence fight and 2 weight classes since the Madrimov fight, my last fight. This is the perfect send-off, Roy.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Without
it's
a question.
The perfect send-off.
He posted a salute on Instagram that cut through all the generic well wishes. He wrote, "Salute to a real one, but be one of the toughest opponents any fighter will ever face. The sport itself," that phrase, "beat the sport itself," is chilling when you really unpack it. Ward went on to say, "Retire from boxing. Don't let boxing retire you. This is the perspective you only get from someone who has been in the trenches." Ward knows that boxing is designed to chew fighters up. The system is built to keep you in the ring until you are a shell of yourself. squeezing every last drop of value until you're discarded. By saluting Crawford, Ward is highlighting the rarest victory of all, keeping your health and your faculties.
I wouldn't be mad if I never see Terence fight again. The way he performed, getting ready to be 38, I think, in a few days. Man, what better way to go out? What better way to tell the game goodbye? What better way? Who you gonna fight? I was arguing with Max on the way to the venue about Boots Ennis. Nah, we don't go fight Canelo and then go back and fight Boots Ennis. I saw a report today. Somebody was talking about him going up to light heavyweight. Nah, we don't go up to light heavyweight. We just went up 3 weight classes since the Spence fight and 2 weight classes since the Madrimov fight, my last fight. This is the perfect send-off, Roy.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Without a question.
It's the perfect send-off.
Crawford isn't leaving because he's slow or injured. He's leaving because he conquered the map. That salute from Ward wasn't just a celebration. It was a sigh of relief for a brother in arms who made it out the other side without becoming a casualty of the business. We have to talk about how exclusive this club actually is. With this announcement, Terence Crawford joins Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather Jr. in the tiny circle of modern legends who retired undefeated. But the context here is different. Ward retired at 32-0 in 2017, shocking the world just after his wars with Sergey Kovalev. He faced immense pressure to come back, but he stayed retired. He sees
like I can tell you some of them. Gene Tunney was the first guy. It's not that he was undefeated, but he was light heavyweight who moved up to heavyweight, beat Jack Dempsey, beat him in a rematch, walked away on top, right? Rocky Marciano walked away on top. Lennox Lewis walked away on top. Joe Calzaghe walked away on top. But I don't know, Eder Joffrey, a guy who not a lot of people know about anymore, but who was one of the greatest fighters ever, walked away after a loss where he got ripped off, came back years later in another division, reeled off about 27 wins, won another title in a heavier division, and then walked away on top. But I don't know that anyone has done it quite like Terence Crawford, because Lennox Lewis, Andre Ward walked away on top after beating Kovalev. Maybe Andre came closest to doing what Crawford just did if he doesn't come back and if Crawford stays retired. But Lennox really struggled with Vitaly Klitschko. And he looked at Vladimir Klitschko and thought, I think I can do it. I believe I can do it if I make myself get into that level of shape. I don't want to do that anymore. You know, like an American football player who says, I just don't want to run through that brick wall anymore. But the question really is, can you still do that if you think you don't want to anymore? So a wise man says, I don't want to find out. I'm going to retire. Andre Ward, I think it was the same thing after Kovalev. Like he could look at Beterbiev, a few other guys, and go, yeah, I could do it, but oh my God, that's going to be hell. And I put myself through hell for this many years already.
That same resolve in Crawford. Crawford retiring at 42-0, especially in the 4-belt era, is statistically absurd. To navigate 5 different weight divisions without a single blemish is something we might not see again for decades. The connection between Ward and Crawford here is deep. They are both defensive masterminds who were off.
I have to talk to you, right? So I'll use Terence Crawford as an example. And I'm not gonna name names, but I'm gonna just speak generally. A lot of people were wrong about him. Bob has his opinion about, I'm not looking at the books. I can't speak on what he lost. I can't speak on that, but I'm saying him not being a draw, you know, talking about his personality, you know, and not realizing this dude's story, which you detailed in great detail this whole time at ESPN, but not having the wherewithal to say, man, maybe he's not very talkative because of what he's coming from, and there's a trust thing, so let me do a little work.
Been criticized for being too good or too technical, yet they both ended their careers on their own terms. When Ward says salute, it's a welcome handshake into a VIP room where the price of admission is perfection. They are the only 2 men in recent history who stared down the temptation of one more fight and chose their legacy instead. If you've been paying attention to boxing media over the last few years, you know that Andre